Now you guys managing all your own stuff?
No, not anymore. Oh my gosh. So I wish I would have not given myself as much brain damage with this, but I think this is just the nature of being an excited entrepreneur of like, I can do this, And so at first it was myself and then Pace's wife, Laura, where we would do the management, where she would be the agent that lists them and gets them on the market. And then I kind of help out with some of the paperwork and some of the things and, tenant issues and those sorts of things. And so did that for the first year of holding, and it was miserable. Actually, probably about a year and a half. It was pretty miserable. I'm like, I hate this. And then so rebelling of, I don't want to hire a property management company because they're not going to do a good job. We are like, we're just going to hire an internal property manager. So after hiring and firing a few of those of people that promised a lot, didn't perform the way that we expected them to, we got to the point, and this was actually the beginning of last year, because with COVID and all the moratoriums, we had a few tenants that were taking advantage of not paying rent, and we're paying these mortgages, and our property manager couldn't do anything, and it was so frustrating. And so we got to the point where we're like, screw it, let's just sell all of the rentals. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. But then Pace and I had like this one swing of like, you know what, let's just go see if we can get a good property manager that's an outsourced company that could just take this off of our plate. And we did that, and they have their own little quirks and issues here and there, but it has been significantly better. Quality of life shot up significantly since we decided to do that. So no, we do not do it anymore ourselves. I wouldn't recommend it unless you like brain damage, or maybe you just got it figured out more than we did. And, that's okay too, but we're super stoked now having property management in place.
Yeah, and you know why? That's huge. I did property management for a first couple too, and I hate property management. That is like
it's the worst.
I hate showing places, all that kind of stuff. And you're right too, because it's in your head. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to hire someone. I'm giving the first month 8%, 10%, whatever it is. And you're looking at it, it's like the freedom it buys, and then the time that it gives you back and your sanity. Yep. You're going to make more money doing other stuff, and you're going to feel better about it.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I think people have to think about is people are looking at what it costs them that they're paying somebody else to do something, and a lot of times they aren't auditing that. And this is something that I was having a challenge with property management, was what could I be doing with that time? Could I be getting a higher return on my time investment? Is this a task that is going to equate to what I'm trying to reach in an annual income? Somebody's trying to make $1 million a year. I mean, you're typically going to be needing to be doing tasks that are $500 an hour tasks. And is managing this tenant situation that high dollar of value activity? And so typically it's not going to be. And so I think just as entrepreneurs, that's something that we always have to be looking at, is like, where am I spending my time, and what's the return on that investment for that time that I'm spending as well?
Yeah. And you know what, too? I even noticed when I was doing property management, it was just one of my weaknesses. Like, I'd meet with people, they would talk me into renting them. I'd hear their story, and I would buy
sob story.
Yeah, I'd buy the sob story. I'd rent them, and then learn the hard way. Oh. And I found like with the property manager too, now you're just looking at paper. It's just, hey, here's the person, here's their credit score, here's their background. Do you want to rent to them? You don't have any of that emotion in there, which is huge.
Yes. It's just, there's no story. It's just very black and white. Like we get an application. Yeah. Like you said, the credit score, income, delinquency history, a few of those things. And it's like, perfect. Amazing. Yeah. That sounds great. Get them in. I don't want to hear their story. Don't tell me about their story.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's a really good point on that.